Joker, would y'all sign Baker this offseason?
I mean, the way he's playing right now, we know he's a dude that is led before he's come into crazy situations, whether it was the Cleveland Browns or obviously what he's doing in Tampa. Shoot, even the short week stuff that he did out in LA with the Rams. So, I mean, he's high pedigree. I feel like he's quieter now in Tampa. I feel like there's less commercials surrounding him. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy that's gonna come in and want to like do the whole mentor thing. I think he might see Kenny as food, and that
Yeah, I think if you're bringing him in, it's open competition between him and Kenny.
He's seeing Kenny as food. Yeah, I think that's
I think he might have played himself into a starter role next year.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It might be at Tampa again.
So that's what I'm trying to say. When I say he's going to see Kenny as food, he's going to say, I'm a starter. I'm not a backup. I'm a starter. I'm a franchise guy. I was drafted when I was drafted. I've won at multiple spots now. I didn't play down here well in Tampa in a situation that ain't even like any of this other stuff. I'm a starter. He going to look at Kenny. Be like, bro, this dude has done nothing to even be having a conversation with me about who's the QB1. I just think that, it ain't like not on no beef stuff, but just that's a different energy, man. Him coming in.
So I mean, I think that's the question. Then, do you want to sign Baker to potentially be your starter? That question was definitely more for you.
Yeah,
because I'm good on Baker. I'm rolling with KP, and just from the logistics standpoint, putting that money towards another quarterback, I'd rather see what we got in KP another year and build out the rest of the team.
Yeah, I want to know what the number is. Like, that's the first part of it. And then also, what's my long-term direction? Like, I'm not trying to marry Baker. You know what I mean? I don't want Baker as my long-term answer at quarterback. But if I'm still in the process of how we just did this Mitch experiment and it kind of has fizzled out, okay, let me reset it, but with a younger, newer version of the Mitch situation. Because they kind of identical, except for him. Instead of him backing up a Josh Allen for a year, he's actually in Tampa getting a chance, showing a little bit more after his little Carolina, LA fiasco situation.
Yeah, Baker's actually just been doing better more recently.
Right. Whereas for Mitch, it was, we just haven't seen you, so you were quiet. We saw you some preseason stuff. It looked good. Come on over. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it would be, I'm not all the way against it, but the number needs to be right. I don't want to pay him like, yo, we want you guaranteed as our guy for the next couple of years. Like, nah, I ain't knowing that. But I do think that he would be a better version of the Mitch situation that we just tried to do. And whether we keep Kenny or if we're still going to draft something else, it's like I at least feel like I have something that's going to raise that.
He's putting together a decent season.
It's going to make
3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks.
It will make you raise that room up because if you're Kenny, you can't sit in that room and act like what you've been doing is just going to beat that out. Mitch, you can kind of get away with it if you're Kenny right now. What you've been doing next to Mitch, you're like, yeah, bro, it's a legit conversation. Next to Mason, you're like, oh, all right, it's legit. Baker in there, bro, it's like, bro, you haven't done this. Not once, not twice. You haven't done none of this. And he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, that's why I truly think if you sign Baker, you're signing him to be
he's your bridge guy.
QB1.
Yeah, that's the bridge. And he's going to make
I think
Kenny
it would be a
have to
competition
raise up.
between Baker and Kenny.
Right.
But that's what you'd be doing.
Yeah. It's a competition. You hope your young guy can raise up and ultimately get to that. But you're saying at the same time, you know why we brought you here. We know exactly what you are. We need this. And now this transitions to QB2, and we start to see how he handles that role. And if he ever gets another opportunity, does he turn into Drew Lock, where he gets an opportunity and he can produce for a little bit? Or is he Geno Smith? You wait for the right opportunity to strike, and then, boom, you put together a couple of games. Then you get hot. Ryan Tannehill, when he left from Miami and went to Tennessee, and it's like, oh, all right, he got the next opportunity. It worked out for him. That's ultimately.
I mean, Baker's in the midst of all that.
Absolutely.
For his own career.
So I'm like, it's not terrible. Baker is this year's version of Geno Smith.
Yeah.
That's where we at right now, man.
So, no, I don't want to sign Baker. With all that being said, I don't want to sign Baker. No.
Deke said it makes too much sense. I don't want him, though. Give me Kenny.
No, yeah, from again a logistics standpoint, it just comes down to whether or not you believe in Kenny or not.
Yeah.
So I do believe in Kenny.
Like I said,
I
it
would
wouldn't cut him.
rather
Yeah.
have him on the roster and then figure out, like you said, a backup veteran guy on the cheap, maybe draft a guy late, and then divvy out the money you would be paying a guy like Baker to the rest of the team. That's how I would do it. If you don't believe in Kenny, then I see why you would feel like this is a legit option.
But if Kenny is who you say he is, he should beat him out regardless. And now I have an upgrade at QB too.
I don't want to be. I mean, I think Baker's going to be getting like 15, 20 million at least.
So,
Geno Smith got 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be paying that to another quarterback. I don't want another Mitch scenario, essentially, where we're paying $10 million. But in Baker's case, I do think it'd be more because he's done better than Mitch.
I get what
He's
you're
deserved
saying.
more money.
And I get what you're saying. I think the other people would look at it and say, well, we're going to have all these wonderful accessories and nobody to actually utilize it the right way. And I think that's the back and forth for the people that believe in Kenny versus people that don't believe in him. If you believe in him, you're like, bro, give him the weapons. Let Kenny, get another opportunity.
Well, that's
really
why I
show
don't want to
himself.
sign Baker then either,
Yeah.
because then you're paying 15, 20 million when you could be signing an extra cornerback, an extra O-lineman.
Yeah.
Because if Kenny does beat out Baker, then we just got Baker chilling there for 15, 20 million.
Yeah.
Which I'm not that big of a fan of.
But we've seen how much time Kenny has missed though also. So we've seen, regardless of our opinions of Kenny, when he's come out, we've also seen the effects and impacts it's had on wins and losses. So if through these first 2 seasons he's missed time, multiple times, it's like, all right, how much of that also are you willing to hang on this? Because
It's just too
you
much
need
for a
some type
backup.
of
That's
insurance.
just way too much for a backup.
Yeah.
Like no other team is paying 15, 20 million for a backup.
Yeah. But this would be
But injuries can happen anyway.
Yeah.
Now Kenny is showing he's a little bit more injury prone, and these injuries keep popping up, which isn't good. Which is definitely not good. But going into, I just can't see a world where you're paying a backup that type of money.
But you're speaking of a world where Kenny would actually beat him out. It's
Well,
a
I
lot
know.
of people that are saying, I don't see a world where Kenny beats him out.
No, but you brought up the scenario of,
Yeah.
it would be good no matter what if you brought Baker
Yeah.
in and Kenny beat him out, right?
And the reason why I say it'd be good no matter what is because now I have a quarterback that is the guy, and he's still cheap. But I know I got the guy. He's beat out a guy that is
I
clearly
think you'd
more
have to
proven.
trade Baker then after, like if he beats him out
Well,
in the
either way,
offseason, the training
yeah.
camp and stuff, get that money off
Cool.
the cap.
Either way, but if he were to beat him out, I'm saying I have my quarterback. Paying a quarterback is never a bad thing if he's actually worth it. We want to know if he's that. That'll be the fast way to find out. Because we know what Baker is. Baker has proven a lot more in this league at multiple stops than Kenny has so far. But it's Baker, though. So, obviously, we know how we feel about Baker because we've seen Baker versus 7.
No, I'm giving him props.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do sign Baker, he would have the edge over Kenny because you'd be paying him a significant amount of change. And you're right, he has proven more in the league thus far.
Yeah.
Probably still competition, but I think Baker will be listed as QB1 going into this offseason.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to sign Baker.
Money aside, would Kenny beat him out in your opinion? Money aside.
That can be interesting. Baker's playing decent. I'll give him props for that. It would be interesting.
That's more than I thought you would even say, bro. So salute you, bro. Salute you. I didn't think I was gonna get that from you, man. I thought you was gonna be like, nah, he gonna clear cut beat him out. I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I think it'd be real interesting, man. Cause Kenny has shown flashes, but Baker has also. And the thing is,
I think he's capable.
yeah,
I think he's
Yeah.
very much capable, for sure.
Mhm.
But the Kenny that I wanted to see this year just hasn't shown up
right.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we have seen it, all of a sudden, hey, he's hurt next game. Hurt in the middle of the game, and that momentum gets
Messed up again.
Yep. Yeah, so we're gonna have a new coordinator. We're gonna have a new system and stuff. So these are all the other factors at play. You know, when you ask me like who would win, I don't know. What if the system's better for Baker? Or takes a little bit longer for Kenny to get up to speed. I don't know.
Or even just in the sense of processing information. We know Baker. He's been in 4 NFL offenses now? Cleveland, Did they switch coordinators when he was in Cleveland?
Multiple times, yeah.
So multiple offenses in Cleveland, Carolina, L.A. Short
He's just been
time
doing it
L.A.
longer too.
Tampa. Yeah. So he's been at multiple stops with multiple offenses. Yeah. Definitely has handled the scrutiny of being the guy, face of every commercial, Mr. Progressive, and all that good stuff too, man.
Yeah.
Has survived the hate, and he's on his redemption arc.
Right. But no, I don't want to sign Baker still.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Baker. I get it, bro. I definitely get it. It's just crazy that this is even a legitimate conversation, because 3 years ago, we've been like, Baker, bro, stop it.
It was a conversation whenever he wanted out of Cleveland. Remember with the Deshaun Watson stuff? It was a conversation.
I'm saying like before that part of it, because that's also when
Right.
we were getting ready to transition from our guy. I'm saying when we had our guy here, bro, we laughing at this convo, man. That's what I'm saying.
Baker sucks.
You catch my drift? That's how we viewed Baker. We have never said Baker was a good quarterback when we had our guy here.
Baker had a good rookie year.
He did after my
I did
boy.
think he should have promised.
But who was my guy though? Who helped him? Who was his mentor? Who crawled so he could walk? Huh? Come on, man.
That's why we got to bring in Tyrod.
Shout
for
out
Kenny,
Tyrod, bro.
right?
Come on, bro. Come on, man. If you need somebody
That's
he
the
will
option I
open
like.
the door for you to run through it, bro. And he is completely cool with it, as we've seen multiple times. Baker at the door ready to run with you, bro. And he gonna have his flag because he with that energy. He gonna be like, yo, Kenny, it's my room now. Come on, brother, let's fight.
These are going to be conversations all offseason.
I low-key like these versions, though. This is a fun combo right
It's
here.
not.
That was a
I
fun
don't
one,
enjoy
bro.
that.
Because that's not like a Cousins. That's not the ultimate headshot. That's not the, I gotta like the guy
I
that I don't
truly
like.
think it would be.
You
I
think
do.
it would?
Because you're paying him a lot of money.
I think it would be. I think it would definitely on paper be, bro. We know
You're going to pay him like $20 million.
he's gonna get all
least.
for Jameis Winston when he went to New Orleans. I'm like, yo, you're gonna get the first, like, you're gonna get the dibs on it. But if it don't work, all right, Andy Dalton, what's up, baby?
No, right.
Derek Carr, what's
but
up,
I
baby?
think Baker
Yeah.
goes in as the starter. I think it's so. I guess maybe going back to your question of like who wins. I feel like if we sign Baker, well, you did say money aside though. I think it'd be close.
Because I'm
It'd
just
be
like, if we're
interesting.
just talking just talent, because if we throw money in it, we know that's the biggest reason why Mitch is or even before we could even talk Mitch versus Mason, we know Mitch was gonna be bumped up or have an opportunity just based on when he signed for the dollar amount. We've talked about those numbers. So same conversation, yeah. If Baker is getting $20 million, sure. Same way we say Deontay ain't gonna never get benched getting 18 mil. But if the number is less, or if the number is right, and that's what I led off by saying, if the number is right, I'm interested, but the number has to be right. Because I don't want to marry Baker. I don't want
He
Baker to
signed
be the
for
long term.
$4 million to the Buccaneers.
That
last
number
year.
is right. I give you 14. Can we talk?
Well, this was definitely a prove it year. I mean, he was in competition
He
with
was
Trask.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a blowout competition though.
What are these quarterback contracts right now? Because it's either you're overpaying a quarterback, or you're paying a quarterback a lot of money, or you're paying him not a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's no like in between. There's not a big middle class for the quarterbacks right now. So Geno Smith, I think Geno Smith would be a good comparison for what Baker could be getting this offseason.
But Geno just came off of leading his team to the postseason, bro.
Baker might too. The numbers are going to be similar.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, depending on how he finishes these
these 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games. He's at 24
like,
touchdowns. He could finish around. He could finish
if
around
he
30
get
and
30,
10.
bro.
And then Tampa makes the playoffs.
Then he gonna get a check. Yeah.
So Geno Smith.
He get a check.
Well, on overthecap.com, they're saying he's getting 25 per year. Jimmy G got 24 with the Raiders.
Okay.
Tannehill, he was getting 29 off that contract with the Titans. That's
they give him the
disgusting.
big boy 100 though. Yeah.
That's disgusting. So yeah, and then it just drops off. Jordan Love's on his rookie deal with 13.5.
Yeah. What did Carr get when he just signed with the Saints? What did he get?
37. This is what I mean.
They traded him. He got traded. Did he get traded? No. Because he did
I
the
think
whole
they
funny
reworked
thing
his
with
deal.
the year. Yeah, with the
They
deal.
reworked his deal.
Because that's off. I'm like, ain't no way they paid him 37 to go down there.
Danny Dimes got 40 million.
We talked about that. That was the whole this offseason.
So that's why I think Baker will get at least 20 something. And that's too much for us.
That's an
then.
overpay, bro.
That's too much for us. Then it's ridiculous. If you believe in Kenny, that's my thing. If you believe in Kenny, I'm like, we're at least. I think Kenny is capable of doing at least what Baker can do. If he can stay healthy, do everything right, but then also has the upside.
Bro, we really have transitioned to Baker. It's like this is a convo, and I'm not against it. It just is so weird to me, man. I just feel so. What did we become? Gosh.
What's his face brought it up?
We're going to sign Baker and had Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins as his receivers. What are we doing? We got Patrick Queen at inside linebacker.
I'll take that, too.
Oh, God.
I'll take Patrick Queen.
Hey, yo.
Give me Patrick Queen, Boyd, and Higgins.
Yo.
And we'll have Kenny at QB1.
This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. And they said Josh Dobbs, he'd be the good value backup, man.
No, just
shout out to Noah, man.
He could be our QB coach if he wants, but no, I'm done with those.
This is just
Yeah. So there you go.